There are many forms planets can have in and outside of our solar system, most of them outside. We see planets that are completely dark, planets that are completely enveloped in water, one that is pure ice but is on fire, one that is being swallowed by its star. So when we think of life and sustainability, we see these planets and we must understand that life is just simply not sustainable there. Imagine a planet where it's always dark and it's on fire, it's so hot. There's no way life could live there when it's so hot. There's no water, there's no way to live there. Inversely, when there's a planet that's completely water, there's no way for life to sustain anything because it's completely underwater. And when you get to the center, it's all packed ice, so there's nothing that could live there either. I like to think of it as it's suffocating. When we also think of other planets, like the one being swallowed by its star, it is already burned up. Its shape is becoming oblong as it is swallowed into its star's gravity. So obviously there's no way life could live there. So we can also think of these extremes as obvious examples of why life cannot exist there. But I also think it's important to understand that life could possibly not exist on planets that are similar to ours, such as the Kepler planet explained in the video. I think it's important to understand that when we talk about life, are we considering sentient beings that can speak and talk, or are we talking about plants and other non-sentient beings like prokaryotes and things as such? So it could possibly sustain life, but when we consider evolution on Earth, we can also understand that we are such a rare occurrence, humanity itself. We are the off chance that shouldn't have existed, per se, freaks of nature. So we would also have to understand the rationality of sentient life being able to exist on other planets, which would be a very rare occurrence.